Texas Tech men's basketball is just a few days away from starting their Big 12 campaign. In today's video, we'll look at the early ESPN bracketology projections, as well as the current KenPom rankings, Haslam Metrics, and net rankings, and what you can expect from the Red Raiders moving forward. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here from the Back to 12 podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell to stay in the know on Texas Tech men's basketball all year long. Whether that's on the hardwood or off of it, we've got you covered right here on the most engaging Texas Tech community here on YouTube in the Back to 12 podcast channel. Now, before we get into these ESPN bracketology early looks at where the Red Raiders could potentially slot in the NCAA tournament, I want to ask you guys this question. Do you think Texas Tech will make the NCAA tournament this year? Just a simple Y for yes or N for no. Let me know your thoughts on if the Red Raiders will make the NCAA tournament in year number one of Grant McCasland. All right, let's look into the early Texas Tech men's bracketology outlook as it stands right now in the sense of KenPom, Haslam Metrics, and net rankings. Those are three things that I look at in terms of, okay, does Texas Tech actually have a solid shot at making the NCAA tournament? You'll see them at the bottom of your screen below. I'll read them out loud as well. According to KenPom, right now, all of these rankings are as of Wednesday, December 27th. KenPom has a Texas Tech ranking at 45th in the country, which ranks 10th best in the Big 12. Big 12 is loaded. Once again, people, this conference is absolutely legit. You got Haslam Metrics. They have them at 51st. Does Haslam Metrics, and it is the 9th best team in the Big 12. Now, net rankings also have the Red Raiders as the 9th best team in the Big 12, but rank them 64th currently in the country. Why is net rankings so important? That's really something that the committee does look at when it's all said and done. And you have a lot of those teams that are automatic bids in terms of winning your conference and everything like that. And there's obviously some other teams that just have loaded slates and will obviously get in. But net ranking is something they look at in terms of those fringe teams. What do you have in terms of your quad 1, quad 2 wins, everything like that? As of right now, Texas Tech is 0-2 in quad 1 win opportunities. Now, when it comes to what they'll have in terms of those opportunities moving forward, we know there will be plenty in the Big 12 as it is the best conference in America. But let's get this out of the way real quick. About 3 minutes into this video, it's 100% early and things are 100% going to change. Okay, that is 1,000% known for anybody that's watching this. Now, Texas Tech has the opportunity going into the Big 12 to really help solidify their resume on Selection Sunday. Now, there's also some things that they're working out and trying to tinker with in terms of the lineups moving forward, and they have 2 games at the time of this recording to do so before the Big 12 slate actually starts on January 6th down in Austin against the Longhorns. So this is kind of where Texas Tech is right now in the sense of, okay, how many Big 12 teams are making the tournament according to ESPN bracketology right now? And you see them at the bottom of your screen. The Big 12 has 8 teams, but the SEC actually leads the way. Doesn't mean the SEC is the best conference in America. I don't want to hear that in my comments. It's 100% the Big 12. This is not a debate, people. Then you've got the Big 10 with 7, Big East with 5, ACC with 5, Pac-12 with 4, Mountain West with 4, and the American Conference with 2, and then the automatic bids come in after that in terms of conference champions. Now, for me, when you look at everything and where Texas Tech currently stands, according to Joe Lunardi, I'm going to pop it up right on your screen right now. They are on the bubble, and they are part of the next 4 out. You notice a lot of Big 12 teams on this last 4 in, next 4 out, whatever it may be. Some of them may be surprising. Let's start on the Texas Tech side when it comes to the next 4 out. You've got the Red Raiders, you've got the Bearcats, you've got obviously the Fighting Patinos up there at St. John's, and then you got the Fighting Jamie Dixons there at TCU. So 3 Big 12 teams are part of the next 4 out. And he already had 8 teams in. So you think about that. He thinks that there's a possibility or a chance that potentially 11 Big 12 teams are tournament worthy. nuts, just nuts. Then the first four out, you got a team that Texas Tech played early on this season in the Big East, Big 12 showdown in Butler. And then you see a couple of teams that I think a lot of people probably watching this video think, as it stands right now, are tournament locks in number 19 Texas and then Kansas State, the Fighting Jerome Tangs. That's interesting. Texas Tech is in that fringe group right now. And I don't think that that's surprising in a lot of ways for a lot of people. I think that there's been a lot of turnover. I think that people have realistic expectations when it comes to Grant McCasland. And I want to say this about Grant McCasland in the sheer fact that he's 100% the right guy. There's no doubt about that. I've said coming into the season that Texas Tech was going to be a bubble team. That's kind of what I thought. It's kind of where they are at right now. And now they'll have opportunities to prove me wrong throughout the Big 12 slate. As we all know, it's the best conference in America. But in terms of the Grant McCasland side of things, home run higher, in my opinion, for multiple reasons. But I'll just lay out two right now. First and foremost, he came in and he got a competitive roster together. He kept some guys from this past year's team in terms of, the Kerwin Waltons of the world, the Pop Isaacs, Lamar Washington, everything like that. But he went out and identified guys in the portal that would help them immediately, but also in the future. You think about guys like Warren Washington. You had to have a big. Joe Toussaint was a late portal add. Obviously, Devin Cambridge was as well. His season is unfortunately over, but maybe he comes back next season in year number 2 of Grant McCasland. But you also go and get guys that will be on this roster for more than 1 year to help lay that foundation so you can go step by step up and get back to where you were as a program in terms of competing to get to the second round in the second weekend, I should say, of the NCAA tournament. And some of those guys include Darion Washington, Chance McMillan, so on and so forth. The biggest thing for me in terms of Grant McCasland and why I'm excited to see what he can do out in the 806 as the Texas Tech men's basketball coach is he's not afraid to be wrong or try things. And I think that that is just refreshing in so many ways. And he's proven that just through the non-con slate for Texas Tech in the sense of, okay, he had an idea of what this roster could be. And now he's had to change it up. And it's not just, week by week. This is, half by half, 4-minute increment by 4-minute increment type deal in terms of, okay, I'm going to try some new things, see what works. And the perfect example is the small ball lineups that Texas Tech has been running. Now, obviously, it'd be more ideal if you had Devin Cambridge as your small ball 5. That's not the case anymore. But you see what he's done, even with Devin Cambridge out, in the sense of throwing Darion Williams as the small ball 5, a guy that's 6'5", he's a little heavier, right? He goes down there, he's the small ball 5, and then you just surround him with shooters, whether that's Kerwin Walton, Chance McMillan, Pop Isaacs, Joe Toussaint, so on and so forth. You surround him with shooters, and then you just space the floor. And that is something that is just, again, refreshing as a Texas Tech watcher of this team, because last year it felt like over and over again, Texas Tech was in a box. And there was no creativity. It was just, this is going to work or it isn't going to work. And there were no adjustments. That's not the case with Grant McCasland as the head coach. And that is just a breath of fresh air and a reason why I think Texas Tech is on the bubble. Because if you put Texas Tech in that box, I don't think they're anywhere near the bubble. But the adjustments him and his staff have made, whether that's Dave Smart, others, it doesn't matter. They have done a phenomenal job at putting the players in a position to succeed with their skill sets that they provide to this roster. And once again, call me a broken record. I don't care. Count how many times RC said refreshing in the past 2 minutes. It really is refreshing to see from a head coach to crazy thought, put his players in a position to succeed and do things that they are good at. Mind-boggling. I know it's a mind-boggling concept. Let me know down in the comments below. This will be the pinned comment. Will Texas Tech men's basketball make the NCAA tournament this season? And year number 1 of Grant McCasland. Just a simple Y for yes or in for no. I am RC Maxfield reminding you one more time, if you want to help the channel the best way you can, there's 3 ways you can do it. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below. Engage. We're the most engaging Texas Tech community here on YouTube, and you should absolutely be a part of it. I'm RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. We'll catch y'all tomorrow, guys.